Today's Dinging Corners, we are talking about the 2020 Yankees, but not in the way you think. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's Dinging Corners. Welcome, everyone, to Dinging Corners, a baseball podcast powered by SlabStox. I'm your host, Nate, and today we are talking about the 2020 Yankees. Now, we're not talking about the COVID-shortened season Yankees, not the MLB Yankees, but the 2020 Bowman Chrome Yankees. So if you've been paying attention lately, you'll know that my favorite guy is Everson Pereira. I'm trying to settle on how to say his name. I usually go with Everson, but he's my favorite guy. And it seems like, he's a pop-up guy, right? But then also Anthony Volpe, dominant. Jason Dominguez, a dominant name in the hobby, even if he's not been dominant on the field. And then you have a whole slew of other guys in this set that are really expensive. And when I say this set, I'm talking Bowman Baseball, Bowman Chrome, and then Bowman Draft. So I thought it'd be interesting today to just go through and look at these because I think there's a ton of names in here that maybe people aren't completely paying attention to. And a ton of names that you'll be shocked when you see how expensive these guys are and that they all came out of the same year and that they're all from the same team. It's actually quite incredible. And for those people that went and bought team breaks for the Yankees to get Jason Dominguez last year, they're sitting real pretty right now with Volpe and Everson too, which is absolutely incredible. So we are going to get into this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I put some good work into this, and so let's see what we can see. So we've got the 2020 Yankees. So Bowman autographs from Baseball, Chrome, and Draft. I've got studs listed on one side, duds on the other. Now, duds is a little mean, especially for someone like Canaan Smith, who is actually playing well. But for this, it's guys that are a PSA 10 would be over $100, and guys whose PSA 10s would not be over $100. And that's how this is separated into studs and duds. So on the stud side, we've got Jason Dominguez, Everson, Volpe, Ezekiel Duran, Anthony Garcia, Oswald Peraza, Austin Wells, and Trevor Hauver. So Dominguez, Everson, and Volpe came from Bowman Baseball. Duran, Garcia, Peraza came from Bowman Chrome, and Austin Wells and Trevor Hauver came from Bowman Draft. On the other side, we have duds. Antonio Cabello came from Bowman Baseball, and then Canaan Smith, Yondris Gomez, Rainford Salinas, Chris Gittins, and Osiel Rodriguez came from Bowman Chrome. Now, bear with me. I probably butchered a million of these names. I'm not great at names, so bear with me. You're probably going to listen to me mispronounce a bunch of these names a bunch of times. So those are our studs and duds. And just look at that list. This is just autographs from the 3 products last year, right? And you have 14 autos. That's pretty incredible. And the fact that more of them are good than bad, also pretty incredible. All right, so we are going to start out on the duds today. And remember, this is just because of price. It doesn't mean that there isn't potential here. It's just that their price is low. So duds. Number 1, Canaan Smith. So he is CPA CS for his card number, and he is an outfielder. He is 22 years old. He was the 3rd piece in the Jameson Taillon trade. So he is no longer a Yankee. He is, in fact, a Pirate. And he has been playing in Double-A with the Pirates all year. 61 games, 248 plate appearances, a 286, 403, 427 on base, 11 walks, and 6 home runs. Or 11 doubles and 6 home runs, 40 walks, 64 strikeouts, 13 stolen bases. But and this is majorly important, he is running a 387 batting average on balls in play. So likely this is not sustainable. You have to drop these numbers rather significantly until he gets into a more manageable 320, 330 batting average balls in play or even lower. So take his 286, 403, 427 stat line with a grain of salt. Now, that being said, I read that he did lead the nation as a senior in walks. So his 403 batting or on base percentage isn't a fluke, you could say. So there is some potential here. That being said, this is a sky high BABIP, and I wouldn't trust it. And I don't think anybody else does either because it's 2020 Bowman Chrome Auto PSA 10 sold for $35 on September 5th, which obviously is not even the price of getting it graded. A couple months ago it was, now it is not. So Canaan Smith, number one, he is definitely the most interesting player on this list of guys that could break out. But remember, grain of salt, 387 baby. Number two on the list is Antonio Cabello. So BP 85. For those of you listening on the podcast, you want to find his card. BP 85 is his card number. And he is a catcher, 20 years old. He was the second piece in the Rougned Odor trade. So Rougned got put on waivers and he got traded to the Yankees, and they actually gave up a few pieces for him, which was pretty surprising. He's an A-ball with Texas, and he is not doing well. 44 games, 156 plate appearances, and he's batting a $156 with a 218 on base and a 262 slugging. If you are keeping track at home, that is a 480 OPS. A 480 OPS in A-ball is not going to get it done. And if you have that bad of a year at any point, you're probably not hitting the majors. This is a guy that definitely, I will eat crow if he becomes good. Does not seem like he is an investment piece at all. 4 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs on the year, 12 walks, 57 strikeouts, which is good for a 36.5% K rate, which is atrocious. So not only is his stat line bad, but his strikeout rate is terrible. But he is running a 226 BABIP, which obviously you have to be running something so low to have that bad of a slash line. Now, his prices, I didn't get a regular auto or a PSA 10. I tried to get PSA 10 base autos, as many as I could, but I thought this was a pretty good representation of where his market is at because we are looking at a gold Bowman Chrome auto, and it is $50 on September 6th. $50 for a card numbered out of 50. That's a bad deal. Number 3 on the list is Yuendrys Gomez. So CPA YG is his card number. He is a starting pitcher. He is 21. He's only thrown in 9 games, 23.2 innings. He does have a 3.42 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 9 walks. Now, I didn't get too much into some of the rest of these guys, but 29 strikeouts in 23 innings is always interesting. A decent ERA, obviously not a ton of innings to really take that ERA with any grain of salt. But for $1.49, if you really wanted to take a gamble, grab 1, grab 2, maybe become something interesting. You can sell them for $5. There is potential with some of these pitchers because they are so cheap. Number 4 on the list is Raimfir Salinas, if that's how you say his first name. His first name is Raimfer. For those of you listening on podcasts, you can decide how to say that yourself. He is CPA RS. He is a center fielder and he's 20 years old. He is playing in rookie ball this year. He has 143 plate appearances. He's hitting 231 with a 329 on base and a 421 slugging. All in all, his OPS of 750 isn't bad considering he's probably, he didn't get to play last year. But it's also not great considering it's rookie ball. 5 doubles, 3 triples, 4 home runs, 11 walks, and 38 strikeouts. And he has 8 stolen bases. Now, he is not exactly somebody who's sought after either. A PSA 9 Bowman base auto sold for $12.50 on September 6th. Do yourself a favor, look up the scouting reports on all these guys. And if you want to try to buy into one of these duds to make them a stud and make some money, you can. But look up the scouting reports yourself. I couldn't get into it too much because this video would take forever. Number 5 on the list, Chris Gittens, CPA-CG. He is a first baseman. He is 27 years old. There's not much more I have to say about that. He's getting his first Bowman auto at the age of, well, he's 20. Would have been 26, but at the age of 26, he's now a 27-year-old first baseman. He just got his first taste of the majors, and his Bowman Chrome Gold PSA 9 is $36 as of September 2nd. So, probably just not worth even talking about. Chris Gittin, number 5. And then that brings us to our last dud, and that is Osiel Rodriguez, CPA OR. He is a starting pitcher. He is 19 years old. Now, this is where it gets interesting. He doesn't really have any stats that are useful to go off of. He didn't even pitch I think he pitched 7 innings on the year. And he didn't have a good ERA. But this is where things get interesting because Fangraphs gave him a 60 fastball future grades, a 60 fastball, 55 slider, a 60 curveball, a 55 changeup, and 50 command. But they gave him a 35 future value, 35 plus future value, because he has weird arm actions and has already changed his arm action twice. So you have all of these good future potential pitches along with decent command. And then you have a guy that is a middle reliever at best in value. And what's the big picture here? It's got to be things we can't see. His pitches are nasty, but he's got something wonky going on, and it might just be the weird arm action. It might be a lot of other things. It might be that he's physically maxed out and there's no projection on him. I don't know. But if you're a betting man, $1.62 for those, and maybe the Yankees figure him out. Okay, $1.62 ain't too bad. Obviously, you have to add on shipping. Maybe if you can find a free shipping or somewhere on StarStock or something like that, you can get a little bit cheaper and see what happens. A $2 gamble is a $2 gamble. I see people buying $2 cards all the time that will never go past $2. This at least has the potential to go past $2. All right, on to studs. So, number 1 stud is Trevor Hauver, CDATH, and he is a left fielder, second baseman. He's 22 years old. He was part of the Joey Gallo trade at the trade deadline. There's a number of prospects that went from the Yankees to the Rangers for Joey Gallo, but not my boy Everson. He stayed back on the Yankees, which is good for him. He's A and A plus ball this year, and he has played 94 games between the two, 421 plate appearances, a 270 on base, or a 270 batting average, but a 416 on base and a 480 slugging, 21 doubles, 2 triples, and 15 home runs, 81 walks to 120 strikeouts. Now, all of those numbers are good. 81 walks, beautiful. 21 doubles, 2 triples, 15 home runs in 94 games, beautiful. A 34.4% strikeout rate in high A, though, is not beautiful. And so these things can go down. They can. Guy runs a 34% walk rate the one year and then maybe runs a 28% the next year. Maybe you can get it down into the 25% range, and that's more manageable. But if he doesn't, he's a big risk. And we're looking at his Bowman Chrome base auto non-graded, and we're talking about $45 on September 1st, which is a nice, healthy price for Trevor. Number 2 on the list is Austin Wells, CDAAWE card number. He is a catcher, and he is 21 years old. He was the first-round pick in 2020, the 28th overall pick. He has played an A and A plus ball. He's played 93 games and 425 plate appearances, 266 batting average, a 391 on base, and a 488 slugging. So both these guys are really getting on base really well, and they are slugging the ball pretty decently. 22 doubles, 5 triples, and 15 home runs in 93 games is really good, especially out of the catcher's position. 65 walks and 106 strikeouts. 65 walks is obviously where you get the 391 batting on base percentage, but him, like Hauver, a 34.9% K rate in high A, and he is also running a 417 batting average on balls in play. So both the strikeout rate is very alarming, and the batting average on balls in play is way too high. Expect that to drop. Expect his slash line to drop into probably like the 230s and the 360s and the 420s if I was a betting man. So Austin Wells, he is doing well. We're talking $93 for his Bowman Chrome base auto on September 7th, but there are quite a few red flags here. So while these prices are studs and duds because of prices, I would honestly probably rather have, if I can go back, I'd rather have Keenan Smith for $35 PSA 10 and maybe like an OCL Rodriguez for a gamble than I would rather than have Austin Wells. So that's where I'm at, especially as a catcher. Number 3 on the list is Oswald Peraza, shortstop, 21 years old, an absolute stud. An absolute stud. Oswald Peraza is really, really good. And this is a name you should know already. High A and Double A, he's played 97 games, 396 plate appearances. He's hit 295, 356, 475, 25 doubles, 2 triples, 14 home runs, 31 strikeouts to 90. Or I must have mixed that around. I mixed that around. 31 walks to 96 strikeouts, but a 363 BABIP. Not astronomically high, but expect that to drop probably 30 points. So his stat line should drop a little bit. But even if his stat line drops a little bit, he's still a really good player and probably pushing a high 700s OPS as a shortstop. That is a solid guy. He is a top 100 prospect all day long, twice on Sunday. And his prices show it. A Bowman Chrome base auto PSA 10 sold for $355 on July 9th. We couldn't get a ton of close comps here. So $355 July 9th. I know it's a little old, but assume that the prices are still pretty high. Number 4 on the list is Anthony Garcia. Now, Everson was a pop-up guy. Anthony Garcia is the next pop-up guy. He's right fielder, first baseman. He is 21 years old, so he's a little bit older than Everson. And his card number is CPA AG. He's rookie ball A-ball this year, and he's played 34 games, 132 plate appearances, and he's hitting 320 with a 462 on base and a 718 slugging. That's not a 1718 OPS. That is a 718 slugging, 2 doubles, 13 home runs. Obviously, he has not played a ton. And I'm always a little concerned when a guy only has very few doubles, very few triples, and a ton of home runs. It's a little alarming to me. I don't know if it should be, but it is. 28 walks to 42 strikeouts, a 30+% K rate between the two levels, 12 stolen bases, which is nice. And the major calling card here for Anthony Garcia is the 80 grade raw power. Will he ever get to 80 grade raw power in the majors? I don't know. But if you're betting on a guy with huge time power, Anthony Garcia is your guy. Not much more to say than that is that he has insane power. And it's a gamble. It's a huge gamble. He's not going to keep hitting 320. But that 80 grade raw power doesn't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Garcia 2020 Bowman Chrome PSA 10 sold for $130 on August 20th, which is a very, very healthy price. Number 5 on the list is Ezekiel Duran. He's the shortstop, second base, and now third baseman. He played a few games at third base with Texas. He's 22 years old. He is CPA ED, traded in the Gallo deal. A-plus ball this year. Ian, obviously one of the many guys traded in the Gallo deal, and he is a very nice player. He doesn't have the upside of the other guys, but he is a very nice player. 98 games, a 438 plate appearances, 265 batting average, 342 on base, and a 488 slugging. As a second baseman, you're slugging 488 and you're on base 342. That's a stud. 20 doubles, 6 triples, 18 home runs, 17 stolen bases, but 8 caught stealing, which means he should probably try to steal less because it's not very valuable if you're getting caught half the time you're trying to steal a base or a third of the time you're trying to steal a base. Now, there are major concerns about his hit tool and his fielding. I think he had like a 35 fielding tool. So this is a guy that plays shortstop, second base, third base, but will he stick at any of them? Maybe not. And then concerns about his hit tool, 265 average in A-plus ball. That might drop a little bit as we're going higher, but he's got the eye and he's got the power to at least be like a Rougned Odor type. So basically, the Rangers traded Rougned Odor away, and they got Ezekiel Duran, who is like a Rougned Odor. And then he ran a 23.9% K rate, which is actually pretty good compared to the rest of these guys. So not Rougned Odor type there. Number 6, my boy Everson. So BP 51. He is an outfielder. He is 20 years old. And let me tell you, he is an absolute stud. Rookie ball, A ball, and A plus ball. I bought into him his first 2 games in A ball after he got called up from rookie ball, and I have not regretted it. I put $48 in on checkoutmycards.com. I sold a bunch of base cards for like 50 some dollars, and I still have 9 mojos and a blue mojo left that I'm sitting in for free. He's played 40 games, 180 plate appearances, a 325 average, 428 on base, and a 709 slugging in only 40 games, remember, but 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 16 home runs. So if you're keeping track at home, that is 25 extra base hits in 40 games. That's absolutely incredible. 25 walks and 46 strikeouts. He has 10 home runs in 18 games in high A, including a 3 home run game, which included a grand slam on Monday, or maybe it was Sunday. I think it was Monday. But Everson is an absolute stud. I cannot rave about him enough. And it is a shame and a half that MLB Pipeline put out their top 100 prospect list, and they did not include him on it. And nobody's included him on a top 100 prospect list yet. But I guarantee you, by this offseason, he will be on top 100 prospect list. And if he isn't, this system is broken and flawed because he is better than some of the other guys on this list. Guaranteed. He has such a nice swing. It's so smooth. It's so quick. He hits for a ton of power. He gets on base. He's hitting for average. Obviously, he hasn't missed a step on any of the levels he's gone up. Dude is an absolute stud. And his 2020 Bowman Chrome PSA 10 base sold for $251 on August 26th. A very, very healthy price. I think you can get base non-graded autos for around $70, $80 right now. Now, studs, I don't have the price here because we're going to do something else here. And Anthony Volpe, shortstop, 20 years old, BP 139. He's a first rounder in 2019, 30th overall. He's played 98 games, and this is the highest riser of all time, I'm pretty sure. 98 games, 462 plate appearances, 293 average, 420 on base, and a 602 slugging, 31 doubles, 6 triples, and 24 home runs in 98 games. So if you're keeping track at home again, that is 61 extra base hits in 98 games, which is insane. 30 stolen bases to go along with it, and playing shortstop, hitting extra base hits, and stealing bases. 71 walks to 88 strikeouts, so a very close walk rate to K rate. 35 game power on Fangraphs, and 15th prospect by MLB Pipeline. Now, I bring that up because he's walking as much as he's striking out. He's stealing bases. He's hitting for power, and he plays shortstop. He is like literally everything you could ever want in a player in one right now. I bring up the Fangraphs thing because it just goes to show you that sometimes everyone, and Fangraphs doesn't just scout their own guys. They do, but they also talk to scouts and front office staff and everyone to get bigger pictures on these guys. And the big picture here was that he's not going to have any power. We're talking a 35 game power from this dude, and he has 61 extra base hits in 98 games. Come on. In high A. Come on. 35 power was a major miss, but everyone missed. And Anthony Volpe has proven everyone wrong. He has major power. He's got a great eye. He's got speed. He has defensive ability. He is basically like Francisco Lindor, essentially. That might be a little bit of a hyperbole, but I'm excited. I'm as excited for him as I was excited for Francisco Lindor. Let's put it that way. And 15th prospect by MLB Pipeline. I don't even know if he was ranked in the top 100 at the start of the season, and now he is all the way up to 15th. Number 6 on the list is Jason Dominguez, BPA 8. We're talking center field here, 18 years old, the youngest player on the list. He was the top international signee from a few years ago. You all know they spent their entire bonus on him. He's the 17th prospect on MLB Pipeline. And if you follow pretty religiously with Thinking Corners, you know I disagree with that. He's got talent and ability for days, but his stats aren't backing it up. And I think talent and ability should only get you so high if your stats aren't backing it up. And I think 17th is for somebody that's proven stuff already, not for somebody that hasn't proven stuff, even if they have a ton of talent, because everyone on this list has a ton of talent. He's played in rookie and A ball. He's playing a little bit better in A ball, like a 748 OPS or something like that compared to rookie ball. So there is that. 47 games, 201 plate appearances, 263 batting average with a 348 on base and a 400 slugging. 7 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs, 20 walks to 58 strikeouts. That's good for a 29.9 or around up 30% K rate in A ball. And he's also only running a 155 isolated power in A ball. So he's striking out a lot and not getting to his power. A little bit disappointing to see, but you got to remember this is an 18-year-old kid. He just went through COVID, like the rest of 18-year-old kids. He's getting used to a new country, all sorts of things that are going to be weird for Jason Dominguez to get used to. So it's okay that he's not doing well. My biggest gripe with him is that he is overpriced for one, and also highly ranked. If he's the 17th prospect a year and a half from now and he's doing really well, I have no problem. If he's the number 1 prospect a year and a half from now, I'm doing really well, I have no problem. But for right now, I think this is a major, major overranking, considering that there's a lot of other guys that deserve that spot more. And that brings us to the SlabStox Pro update. All right, so the SlabStox Pro update. And we are looking at Anthony Volpe. So we just covered these two guys, but we did not cover prices. And so we are looking at pro.slabstocks.com. If you want to sign up, you can. You go to pro.slabstocks.com. There will be a sign in, sign up button over here. You can click on that. Easy peasy. You sign up and you can get access to all of this information for 100% free. So if you like us, if you want to support us, please use our platform, give us some feedback, and we will be grateful. So Anthony Volpe, now not every card is on it, mind you. So, but there are quite a few. 2020 Bowman Chrome Anthony Volpe, CPA AV, Purple Auto, number 250, BGS 95. So we looked at PSA 10 for a lot of them, but BGS 95, and this is very interesting because 3 months, it started in June at $140 on June 11th, and you can just see it is a stepping stone up. It is just as stairs literally all the way up. $325 on June 16th, so $140 on June 11th, $325 on June 16th, $525 on July 4th, $820 on August 10th, and then the last sale was $1250 on August 26th. I mean, unbelievable. You gained $1,100 on this specific card in 3 months. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing to me. Blows my mind. A 792% increase. You can see that here up here. $1,110 increase, a 792% increase. To whoever bought Anthony Volpe, major props to you. Major props to you. This is a major card, a major player, and I would not sell. I would not sell. This dude is an absolute stud. And then secondly, we have Jason Dominguez, and his card prices are trending in the opposite direction. So we started up at $41.50, and we dropped 3-month time period for his Bowman Chrome Refractor Auto PSA 10, and that is CPA JDO for his card number. We started out at $41.50, and we dropped to $37.26 on July 5th, and then July 6th, we dropped to $3,100, and then we moved up $32.50 on July 18th, and then the last sale was actually August 23rd. So we went a month without a sale for this card, and that was $3,400. Now that is a healthy price. It is lower than it has been, but it's a healthy price. But it is way cheaper than a Jason or than an Anthony Volpe card. And let me tell you, if you told me I get to pick one for the rest of their careers, right now I'm picking Anthony Volpe. Premium position, and everything he's shown me is that he is going to be a stud going forward. Maybe he's not as big of a stud offensively as Jason Dominguez, but shortstop counts for something. And the fact that he plays the most premium position and then can move down the rung as he gets older, huge. He could go from shortstop to third base as a or second base as a like 32, 33-year-old, and then he could probably move over to first base as an old man or to a corner outfield spot. Jason Dominguez, on the other hand, is only going to move from center field down to the outfield, and he's not going to play the infield. So for that reason, Anthony Volpe is the guy that I would rather have if it were me. So that is my SlabStox Pro share. So thank you guys. And then one last thing on the PowerPoint here is that we have a little bit of a last. There it is. So the price range, and this is what I wanted to get into. PSA 10 price range for this 2020 Yankees class. $2,000 plus. We've got one. That's Jason Dominguez. Probably not deserved, but we've got it there. That's one guy in this 2020 class, $2,000 plus. $800 plus is one with Anthony Volpe. I think his last Bowman Chrome base auto PSA 10 sold for $855, somewhere in there. $300 plus is one with Oswald Peraza. $200 plus is two with Austin Wells. If he was a PSA 10, $93 for a base auto. PSA 10 is going to be $200 plus. And our guy Everson, he is also a $200 plus card. And then $100 plus, I fudged the numbers here a little bit, but we've got three with Anthony Garcia. Ezekiel Duran, he was $90, but you expect him a little higher. And if Trevor Hauer was graded $45 for a base, if you're a PSA 10, you are going to be $100 plus. And so while we don't have the actual information on that, pretty close or will be. And so if you would bought into the Yankees last year at any point, you're sitting really, really pretty on the resale prices here, especially if you bought into Bowman Baseball with a $2,800 and a $200 plus guys out of three of the autos. Pretty incredible, pretty incredible. Obviously, it would have cost you a ton of money. But that's the 2020 Yankees. There are absolute studs all over the place, And there's still guys you can buy in, like Everson. I'm going to probably buy in on some in the offseason. Maybe I move my Mojos and my Mojo Blue and buy into a nice auto, or maybe a nicer color, Bowman Chrome, something like that. But there are guys to be had on this Yankee system still. Anthony Volpe, he's probably going to keep going up. Jason Dominguez, he might keep going down and make him a buying opportunity, right? And so there are guys all over this list, but it's an incredible, incredible thing. I've never seen anything like it. There's so many valuable guys. I just thought it was interesting. I thought you guys would want to see it. Maybe you don't. Maybe it wasn't interesting. If it's a dud, let me know. Say, Nathan, stop talking about the Yankees prospects. We don't care. Get on to something else, and we can move on next Dinging Corners. Thank you, everyone, for listening today, and I will talk to you guys again next time.